good evening, good morning, good night, you lovelies. It is the one, the only Cappy D Bar, and we are here to discuss the best story of all time. One Piece! Chapter 1178. Hope all of you are having a great one. However you catch this, whenever you catch this. I hope all of you are having a great one. I also hope that all of you are catching up, right, with this new chapter, right? Because there's a lot of stuff coming out, all right? We haven't had a break week in about 4 weeks. It's crazy. It's a lot going on. What I will say is that Oda is premium troll, all right? Oda is just at the level of just troll territory where it's almost a golden chainsaw at this fucking point. Bro, he has the cover story for this chapter, right? Chapter 178. He has this nigga kid running away from a massive bull, right? And this bull, I shit you not, literally looks like it could have gotten soloed by like Luffy and Romance Dawn. I'm not even joking. In the realms of pretend, right? It's clearly just a cover page, right? But why not have kid? Like, okay, here's my thing, right? We've seen Luffy tame beast this size, right? And then we've also seen King Roger tame a T-Rex on the cover panels. So why the fuck, bro? Why did they have kid running from this bull that literally looked like it could have gotten taken down at the return to Sabaody, bro? Like, I'm not joking. This is like a pre-time skip fucking animal that we have kid running from right now, and I just don't know why. I just don't know why. It's very funny. I really love the idea of a fading nightmare being the title for this cover. Also just the, obviously the entire book, because it really does seem like as more time progresses throughout this chapter, things just kind of wind down more and more and more. Obviously, a simple storytelling, right, where we're kind of building it down so we can build back up. No way Elbaf is done yet. But, we still have to acknowledge that, there's a lot of things happening on Elbaf and Marijois. Marijois, hypothetically, via the words of Emu, or the Great One, or whoever, is still in shambles, right? We don't know if it's a revolutionary army. It could be Lafitte. Hell, it could be Panda Man. We don't know who is fucking with Marijois right now. What we do know is that Shamrock had to return to Marijois. So, you would think that everything on Elbaf would kind of finish itself semi-quickly, but oh boy, how mistaken you would be to believe that. All right, we open up this chapter, in honestly the best fashion that we can, with Nami, Usopp, Sanji, and Frankie Orofarm. With Nami, Jinbei, Frankie, and Sanji farming. All right, they're still standing on the separated body of Killingham, which I think also so fucking beast. I'm sorry, I'm not over this. Luffy returns the broken bodies of Usopp and Brook, and I just want to reiterate again that the only kind of context that we can get from flashing on Usopp getting beat up versus him not being beat up before means that he survived at least half of a round with Emu. Usopp survived at least half of a round with Emu. I will never let that shit go. Listen, y'all can be as mad as that. Y'all can be as mad about it as y'all want, right? But the fact of the matter is that my nigga Usopp is a part of a Conqueror's crew. He's a part of a Yonko crew. So yeah, Emu, run them ones. Fuck is you talking about, bro? Oh my god, this shit was so fucking fly. Listen, Luffy brings back Usopp and Brook's broken bodies, and he says, hey, stand back for a little bit. I don't need any help. Frankie's like, yo, you need me to box the fucking ancient 3,000-year-old demon? Luffy's like, we're good. Thanks, buddy. But I think I got it. But he does tell Frankie to stay back, being that Luffy, he's wary. He's very wary of Loki's power. And the second Luffy says that, we see the AoE of Loki pretty much consume all of the what was it, like Alcohol Village or whatever there were. Like, bro, Loki's massive, AP. It really does lead him to be top 10 minimum in the verse. Maybe not all time, but really think about it. Do you think Agoro would be able to counter this? Huh? Do you think Enel? Come on. Actually, no, I don't got Enel. I don't got Enel. Enel versus Loki? Nah, sorry. Enel can pack his bags. And Loki has conquerors. Fuck is we talking about, bro? Listen though, Emu is basically, using the Gunko proxy. She's ducking and dodging, and Loki is acknowledging like, fuck, man, like she is way too small. She's way too fast. I can't even see her because she's so small, right? And then Emu starts to, reminisce on a time where a few years, and then Emu reminisces a few years ago, right? When giant ships were being sank at sea, right? And there were legends of a flying creature that skulked in the clouds and in the midst of the ocean. And she says now that, it's so obvious what the answer was. It's Loki. Right? There's a lot of paragraphs or sentences she doesn't exactly get a chance to finish. Hey, Oda, between me, you, and the upload bar, not a big fan of that. Hey, not a big fan of that. Let's fix that ASAP. But after Luffy, after he arrives and he says like, yo, like, so you're the girl that beat up Usopp. This nigga Usopp lasted with fucking Emu was so beast. I'm sorry. After this, Emu says, oh, okay, let me lock the fuck in. And basically, they leave the Gunko proxy to enter this kind of shadow phase to kind of enter this shadow figure thing that they are in. To enter this shadow form that they are in when we see them in Pangaea Castle and like when we see them sit on the Forbidden Throne, right? With everything that we get from Emu with the Gunko proxy, I think it's more off-screen feats than I would have liked. And I think mostly. Now, my only issue with the Gunko proxy and Emu's kind of collab is I'm just not really feeling it. Like, this mixtape wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. I haven't really seen a lot from Gunko in the kind of Emu proxy. I just haven't seen a lot from it. And, I think that can go to a lot of things. But I think it really just goes to the kind of off-screen feats. Again, Usopp and Brook through the ones with Gunko in this Emu proxy. And unfortunately, I do think we are getting to a space in some of these animes and some of these mangas where we're just expecting, in some of these animes of, these more popular mangas, where we're just expecting, like Mappa Studios or Toei Animation to kind of fill in the blanks. You know what I mean? And I'm just not a big fan of that. I really would have liked to see more from this Gunko proxy, but it seems that even Emu leaving her body, this is the last we see of Gunko practically for the entire chapter, right? Now, Gunko briefly was speaking to Brook. She was kind of trying to warn Brook, trying to get him out of there. Even he showed this level of concern for Shamrock. Like she said certain things like, all right, let's get this done, right? Like she had this very no-nonsense attitude about things. Like she was concerned about her own well-being, for lack of a better word. And obviously she can regenerate, but it definitely seems like she was the most serious out of all of the Holy Knights, and maybe that just kind of alludes to her having a little bit more backstory than we know at the moment. Obviously her connection to Brook and her being in Rox's flashback, there's a lot of missing pieces we don't have just yet. But I'm going to be honest, I think there is a lot going into Gunko that a lot of people are going to be surprised about. I definitely have my own questions and theories about it, but that's neither here nor there. The most important thing about all of this, all right, is that the second Emu emerges in her shadow form, she attempts to Dami Reversi both Loki and Luffy, right? Now, the second Luffy pulls up, Emu's like, say less, say less, say no more. She does recognize Needhog and Nika as what they are. So I like the kind of, again, no nonsense attitude that she has. It kind of goes back into Gunko's just underhit, like it kind of mirrors Gunko's just no-nonsense attitude with anything. Again, they are both just a bit more connected to the story than we know, so I like that from them. Emu, she says, a demonic covenant. Let this curse grant thee immense power and elongated life. And let this curse bring it. God damn it. All right. She says a curl, she says a co-oral demonic covenant. Thou shalt cast aside a portion of thy thou shalt cast aside a portion of thy lifespan and receive unprecedented strength in exchange for this blessing. Thou shalt loathe each other. Dami Reversi. And she attempts basically to put Loki and Imu against one another, right? Kind of have them face off like we assumed their, reincarnations many moons ago did once. Like, just as, their previous just as their previous incarnations did way back when. But the thing is with Dami Reversi is that I don't think it works on mythical Zoans. And I think that would make perfect sense. I think that this mythical Zoan that Loki has, I do think that aside from just being a mythical Zoan in and of itself, I do think that all of the Zoans, right? All of the, mythical, non-mythical, they all have some kind of deep connection to the Void Century that I haven't exactly pieced together yet. I remember there was this one theory that every single person possessed Conqueror's Haki, and like the Conqueror's Haki basically then was just this feeling of gratitude and love for yourself and your community. It was a kind of crackpot theory, but I'm saying all this to say that I do think that the powers that we see now that are, so rare and so extremely, for lack of a better word, awesome, like this awesome amount of power, it was normal and it was very casual during the Void Century. And maybe the reason it was called the Void Century is because all of these precious and powerful items, including Conquerors, Observation Haki, mythical Zoan fruits, these were all put into a void. They were all taken away, more or less. That's kind of a roundabout theory I have on that, because the idea that none of these Zoans work, but rocks can get Dami Reversi. So we know it's not a matter of strength. We know it's not a matter of Haki. The only reason that I believe that Loki and Luffy were not affected in these forms is because they are both, using the full extent to their mythical Zoans. And I do think that would play an extreme part, especially with Imu being who she is with the Void Century. I just think it all ties together, right? Even when we flash over to the next part of this book, story after Loki and Luffy, we'll finish this up very soon, but we do see more mythical Zoans being used as an exact counter to the Dami Reversi, as an exact counter to Imu's ability. So I don't know, I think there's a lot going into it here. Imu, she very swiftly realizes that she's cooked, that the shit did not work. Luffy says that it didn't even hurt. Loki was like, wait, you mentioned rocks? Because Imu says, Nika, Luffy, I wish you were destroyed like I destroyed Rock previously. I don't know if this is gonna give like Loki a kind of like, a mentor buff, like, oh, you mentioned my mentor, let me lock in. I doubt it, but I will say that he will definitely probably stick around longer to get some more pieces of the story, because if he's softly thinking about rocks in the back of his mind and he goes, oh man, who's probably gonna encounter this Imu guy again? Okay, Luffy, fuck it, I'll become a Nakama. You know what I mean? Who knows? I doubt he could shrink his size, but listen, there's a lot of things that we will be discussing with Loki after the end of this chapter. Loki, he ends up going back to his human form to be able to hit Imu, being that again the large attacks just aren't working. And while Loki is kind of transforming Ragnir back into the squirrel, he's locking in as I would say, Luffy, he hits a booming dawn Gatling gun, and it was very good, very, very good. The art on this is nice. I did not see any Conqueror's Haki, but again, I think that's just Toei. Toei is going to be given the opportunity to kind of flesh out the agenda or fucking dead it. It is what it is. I really do like the idea of this combo attack, though. This is a combo attack. Mwah, chef's kiss. It is a Niflheim attack that Loki lets off from his massive ice lightning hammer. Loki is so fucking hacks, bro. It freezes Imu solid. Now, here's the thing. After Luffy hit his attack, right? After Luffy hit his booming dawn Gatling fist, after Luffy hit his booming dawn Gatling, right? It left Imu in like a regeneration period, right? She didn't even get the chance to finish her sentence. She was like, oh man, I can't Dami Reversi you guys. You guys are truly. And then Luffy lets off his attack. And then Loki, again, he freezes her solid. Now, after this,
it seems like Imu's defeated. And in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? First off, I didn't even know Imu can get frozen. That bugged me all the way the fuck out, right? Imu got frozen, and then Loki and Luffy, they're just kind of like resting. Like everyone just kind of like literally like just and everyone's just resting. Like everything is literally slowing down the second Imu gets frozen. And it's just such a phenomenal feat, because I don't even think Loki knows what this is. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of the homunculi from Full Metal Alchemist. Like it quite literally reminds me of like that little flask homunculi. Like it's this small little black streak, and it's crazy because we know that Imu also has Conqueror's Haki, so why couldn't she just conquer his Haki out of the ice? There's so many fucking questions here, right? After we see Imu get frozen, right, that's the end of the battle on that front, all right? Elbaf slowly starts to recover. You know, the fire start getting put out by Zeus. Jinbei does a couple of shoulder throws, and even the ODCs, right? They do enough work, but they have completely reached their limit. The giants, on Zoro's front, there's only 2 or 3 left until Chopper. He slaps them down, basically turning them back into regular giants. Haruden and Zoro try to theory craft on this for a little bit, but I mean, like literally, as I said, a Hito, right? And this isn't exactly a Zoan, right? But this is a god fruit, right? So I mean, here's my rough crackpot theory. Zoans, ancient Zoans, obviously minks, giants, everything that we seen in that panel, right? It all was that the gifts of this was put into the void century, right? And then I genuinely think that the devil fruits and the spirit of Joy Boy, that had to be carried out throughout the millennia of the void century, right? With the devil fruits, right? With Conqueror's Haki, with all of these things. And then in the new world that we are in, we are now witnessing the reincarnation of this Joy Boy, who obviously embodied Nika. Now, that was very long-winded, but the point I'm getting to is there were gods, and I genuinely think that the gods, along with the minks, the Skypeans, everybody, they did an all-out assault, right, on the world government, or even vice versa. There was an all-out assault on Joy Boy from all of these different factions, and the second Joy Boy lost, right? And I think we kind of see it like the seas revolted, and there would never be the seas were raged, and they would never meet again, right? The devil fruits were birthed after the death of Joy Boy. And it's almost like a weird kind of like messiah kind of thing, but I think that's the only thing that truly makes sense with this god fruit and Chopper just having so much fucking pull, and I love it. It's just there's so much into it I wish I knew, and I just don't know it. So honestly, I'm just being a little greedy. We flash over to the Owl Library, and we see from Robin and Saul that not only is Biblo gone, the owl that was protecting this library, everything's frozen solid. And Saul says, it doesn't look like there's a lot of damage, but the books are gone. Like all of the books are gone. I'm so curious on what's going on with that. I really don't have any ideas. I don't have any theories. The only idea is maybe like Biblo moved all the books, but again, it just goes into like that Toei Reliance, like Mappa Reliance thing. Like, I would hate for this to be like, oh yeah, no, the owl just took all the books outside and they're just in a pile cooling off. And now in like a year time, we have like a fucking like, a shit ton of owl edits being like, yo, the owl moved at Mach 2 speed to get the books out. Yo, Toei's bugging. It's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a little bit too pessimistic, but I would love to see what the fuck is going on with these books. Again, we do know that the history and the legacy of Ohara, the findings of Ohara, everything that Vegapunk came here and he researched and he kind of added to when he visited here. There's a lot of, there's a lot of material in these books on the script. So I would love to know what the fuck is exactly in the books. That would be great, Oda. But for now, the miscellaneous books are just gonna be miscellaneously misplaced, I guess. It is what it is. It is what it is. I really do want to go back to and it's crazy, right? I really do want to go back to Luffy and Loki, right? Luffy and Loki are sitting, they're kind of bickering about Luffy needing food. Luffy's in his old man form, which is important for later, and Loki's just kind of like, well, fuck it, go back to the village. I don't know what to tell you, little bro. I'm tired, I'm out of it. I couldn't keep that size. I couldn't keep boxing with that. Like, literally, they're like in the corners of the they're in the corners of the fight of like the third round. This is like the third round when you got the boxer sitting down. It's like, fuck, man, you're right hook. Hey, man, I'm uppercuts, man. I'm tired. Hey, man, I'm getting out of breath. That's basically what we see from Loki and Luffy, right? The squirrel's just like, hey, I can't help you. That's what I imagine the squirrel says in squirrel talk. And Loki's like, hey, my nigga, hey, you're cooked. It's GG's, right? Now, in a second, and like literally, if you blink, you miss it, right? It's funny because literally, if you blink, you'll miss it in the anime, most likely. Imu poofs from the ice. She poofs from the ice. Again, why she didn't just break the ice? I don't know. There's some fucking insane master plan we're not witnessing right now. There's some insane master plan we're not privy to right now. Imu, she breaks the ice and she goes back to the to Pangaea Castle in the butterfly room of Marijois, and she says to the elders, hey, the Holy Land is going to be without Mu for a while. Now, the idea of Imu getting rage baited and losing this fight, she lost, and I'm just going to count this as an agenda loss. The idea that she lost this and hopped right back outside for the ones, oh, so tough. So tough. So, hey, so fucking tough. I'm not going to hold you. The agenda stocks for Imu after taking this loss and hopping back outside, hey, she squabbled, she lost, and she gonna squabble, live another, and she squabbled, she lost, and she lived to squabble another day. That's real as fuck to me. I'm sorry. I would love to know what Loki's plan is when Imu returns and he's no longer in his big form. Because again, I'm telling you, the Zoan had a tie to that not being able to Damuverse, just like the Hito, model man is a good reverse for the Damuverse. There's just certain things with these devil fruits you can't do with Damuverse, and honestly, Loki not being in his Zoan form right now. Hey, Imu traveled all the way to Marijois in a matter of fucking light speed, practically instant travel. You know what's so funny? You don't think about how scary that nigga Goku is until like you really think about the nigga you're beefing with popping into your bedroom. Just pop. Now he's there. That nigga Imu popped from one location to the other. And again, there's no break next week, so we might see Imu throw hands. This was a good chapter, man. This was a good chapter. I'm very curious on everything that's going on. I have a lot of questions. But chapter 1178 fucking delivered. No questions about that. Honestly, I was very satisfied reading this. I am looking forward to everything that we do get next week. There will be a video for next week, and there will always be videos for the rest of the week. So, as I always say, all right, you all stay tuned, stay safe, and stay beautiful. It's me, your boy Cappy. All right, peace.